Welcome, everyone. No early starters just yet. So I'll say hello to you replay guys. Tonight we're talking about marketing. So marketing in 2016, we'll be covering a few topics. It's a huge topic, so we'll kick off with a few of the simple stuff, and we'll cover a separate session. We'll cover funnels, hacking, automation, and a few other good bits and pieces. But in this session, we're going to cover content, finding your market, and I guess tools as well. So we'll kick off in about 5 minutes. I see people coming in now, so welcome everyone. My name's Nathan. I'm just getting the whole session set up now. We're getting a few people coming in, and let me know where you're coming in from. If you are on the website, if you're on rapidexecutive.com/webinar, it'll take you to the workshop page where all of tonight's session can be found. There's also a chat box in there. I had a few comments from the previous sessions. We run these sessions every week. So there's a few comments from the last few sessions about not being able to access chat on your phone. So I do apologize for that. I think it's a limitation on Google. So I have put a chat box on the website as well. So if you're on rapidexecutive.com/webinar, it will take you to, yes, it should right now should redirect you to the workshop page. So you'll be able to see the, you'll be able to watch the session there. You'll also be able to comment in there if you are on your phone as well. So tonight, as I said, my name's Nathan. I run Rapid Startups down here in Perth. We have been doing a meetup in person for the last year and a bit now. We've got over, I think we've hit 1,100 members now, so pretty big, especially for small old Perth. But it's a fantastic group, very engaging. I have a lot of fun, really trying to capture, I guess, people that are falling out of the startup scene here in Perth, me included, getting along to a lot of the startup meetups and not finding it very helpful for independent entrepreneurs, small startups, small businesses, that kind of thing, dadpreneurs, mumpreneurs, of which I was one. So I created a group to collect similar people like myself, and really wanted to put it to use as a bit of a mastermind. So that has definitely been successful. It's been great fun. I get so pumped after the session. So we, after much ado, we created an online version so we could meet more often. And also I can meet people from outside of Perth, which is great. So tonight we will kick off in a couple of minutes, 8 o'clock. It's 8 o'clock Western time. Tonight we're talking about marketing. So marketing 2016, all the tips and tricks we can look at for this year, what's working, what's not. Tonight we'll talk about content. We'll talk about content. We'll also talk about finding your market, where your market is, and identify who your market is. We did cover some of this stuff in the previous session on ideation. So validating your idea obviously comes down to who your market is, but we'll cover off a bit more on that specifically around marketing, and then we'll get into some of the tools and some of the social media aspects of that as well. I will be covering off some of the other marketing. So marketing is a huge topic. I will cover content marketing and things like that tonight. I will cover content funnels, funnel marketing, automation, all that sort of good, and copywriting, which is a huge part of marketing. I'll cover those in a follow-up session. So we'll redux that in a few weeks. So something I'm very geeking about at the moment, which is funnel hacking. Really enjoying that stuff. So. All right, I'll just flip over to screen share. So I've got a presentation to share with you tonight. Probably goes about 15 minutes. I'll come back to questions and answers. If you're on the website on Google, you'll be able to see there's a chat box up to the right. If you're on my website, what's the Hangout name? Sorry, Anonymous. You can just click above the session and click play there, and it'll play. So, or you can share it. You can click the pop out button and it'll pop out there as well. Great. So we've got the chat working. That's fantastic. So if you are on the website, that's rapidexecutive.com/webinar, and you can, it'll redirect to this page where the webinar is. You can click the button at the top above the chat, which it's just a play button for YouTube. Will take you to this screen, and you can chat on the right, or if you are on a mobile, you'll be able to scroll down and chat inside the box there. So you can ask me questions. I may not get to those questions while the presentation's running. We'll come over to that after that session, but we'll kick into that now. Probably about 15-20 minutes. I'll run through this bit of a recap of last week's session. Then we'll get into the marketing, and I'll come back and answer any questions. All right, let's screen share over, and I'll show you what I put together for you. All right, so 2016. One of my favorite, you could probably call him a marketer, is Gary Vaynerchuk, very vocal online celebrity, hates being called a marketing guru, but that's kind of what he is. He is absolutely ruling the internet at the moment, and one of his famous comments is the marketers ruin everything, and it's true. So just a quick recap of last week's session. We talked about advanced websites. So always starting with our why, we talked about advanced websites accepting payments on your site, using optimized press to create landing pages in a snap, really fantastic looking landing pages, and I walked you through how that all works. We also then created a membership site, and I showed you how that all works as well, and that was using the same tool. So each week we talk about starting with your why. We start with the why because eventually everything does become a job. I started I actually run 5 businesses. I started a online e-commerce store almost 2 years ago now. And one of my most unfavorite things at the moment is packing orders. So I didn't think about that when I first started the business. It was very exciting. I wanted to get into it. Now I really don't enjoy that part of it. So do what you love and you'll never work a day in your life. Still one of my favorite comments. So let's quickly run through the advanced landing pages. We talked about adding payments to your pages. You can accept money straight from your website through payment gateways. Now, the simplest one is PayPal. Nearly every website would have the ability to type in a PayPal address and you'll take money. That's the fastest way. PayPal is quite expensive as far as fees. Stripe is the new kid on the block, and that's very good. The fees are a lot lower. The integration is a lot tighter, and it just looks a bit more professional. And we also covered the fact that a lot of the new payment gateways also include things like Bitcoin and Alipay. So some of those cryptocurrencies, very cool, very new, and starting to become very popular as well. We covered off Optimize Press, which is my absolute favorite at the moment landing page creator. Drag and drop, really fantastic. It's just a plugin for WordPress. There are some other popular ones like Lead Pages and CloudPress. I use CloudPress and Optimize Press at the moment, testing out CloudPress for the guys and really enjoying that as well. But hands down, Optimize Press is by far my favorite. So that was a landing page for BP Diet Plan. Now we're covering off BP Diet Plan here as the membership site as well, but this is just a landing page. Choose your plan on the page there. Pretty simple. And then we had the payment integration for the payments to accept on the page. So just basically you create a web page, you integrate with Stripe, and that Stripe will pop up that little box asking for an email and credit card and pay, and it's immediate, seamless, very low friction for the buyer on your website. Really easy to take payments. And I showed you how I turned that into a automated sales machine. I've got an integrated piece of software called Zapier. Again, it's plug and play, very simple to use. You tell it your Stripe account, you tell it your MailChimp account. Stripe will tell Zapier that there's a new customer. Zapier will tell MailChimp to turn on the automated emails for that customer. And the course I was selling was actually an automated email. So I never had to actually do anything, which was fantastic. All right, so we also then talked about membership sites. So I covered off the BP Diet Plan landing page before, and we also talked about what membership sites were. So we could have things like paid content. So some of the new sites are now membership sites. You could have, if you create apps or websites, software, or something like that, you could have a download page where people can download their version or their licensed version or their licenses or whatever. or you could create an online course. So if you are a regular to the internets, you may see a lot of online courses being offered as membership sites these days. So I showed you how that all gets put together. So the fortune's in the follow-up from Pat Flynn. So how do you create one of these? So it's as easy as the landing pages within OptimizePress. So OptimizeMember is a plugin within OptimizePress, which is also a plugin for WordPress, but it's a very simple membership tool. You basically add one line of, one change and to your website, and it'll turn into a membership site. It's really, really simple. Pretty much flick a switch and it's on. Then you just set up the membership pages. So this is the drag and drop editor, and set up the members area, and that's just what it looks like to a customer on the right hand side there. So you've got those, you can have the lessons there, a lesson plan, that could be their software that they've downloaded and things like that. That's what it looks like. All right, let's get into this week's session. So we'll talk about marketing, and specifically marketing currently what's working in 2016. If you do hear some funny noises in the background, that's my dog snoring again. I put him to sleep pretty quickly. I apologize for that. All right, so let's talk market, finding your market. Let's talk marketing strategy, and let's talk tools. What I will do is save copywriting, funnels, and automation, as I said, to another session. Marketing is a huge topic. It's very prevalent at the moment, and things like copywriting, extremely important to marketing, and funnels, which I absolutely geek out about at the moment. So really happy to bring another session on that anytime. We can also talk about it in the Q&A afterwards if you like. If you want to hang around and talk about funnels, I can talk about that all night. All right, so let's talk about the what. So 3 key strategies, and this is what this session will be about. So content. What do I mean by content? I mean your website, the words on your website, the content on your website. So images, is it PDFs, is it blog posts, information, is it your contact details, so people can call you and get content directly from you over the phone. Content rules the world. So we'll also cover off what a marketing strategy would look like, and then we'll get into some tools, and specifically around the social media. Another comment from Gary Vaynerchuk, Gary V, my favorite, is everyone needs to be a media company. He talks about this a lot. So regardless of whether you're a baker, a candlestick maker, or a celebrity, you need to still be a media company first. So in order to break through the noise, whether it's on the internet or just basically with people's attention, no matter where that is, you need to be a media company first. So he says content, period. So how do we create content? We build systems, and we can build a content strategy. So my favorite book on content marketing is The Content Machine by Dan Norris. He also happens to be the author of The 7-Day Startup, which is what we've based this meetup around, building your startup in 7 days. So coming from idea or no idea to launch within 7 days and your first customers. I've been through that a few times. There is another session coming up in a week, 12th of April. If you're watching this in the future, I apologize if that's past already, but 12th of April, 2016, 7daystartup.com. Dan will be running another live 7-day startup session. So it's really fantastic fun. We did one about a month ago, month and a half ago now, and it was excellent. We did a few last year. We run them alongside as part of the meetup group as well. So it's really fantastic. But he wrote a second book after the success of his startup within the 7-day startup. After a year of running his startup and realizing that content and marketing were exponentially growing his business, he wrote it down, exactly what he did. How the systems that he built, how to get the content ideas, how to build virality, how to outsource the whole thing, and the number one biggest mistake that he made. So where do you get content ideas? We talked about ideas, and we also talked about your market in the first session we did a few months ago on ideation, or validating your idea. One of the tools that we talked about, which is a fantastic tool, whether you have your own content, whether you want to reverse engineer your competitors' content, or whether you're just starting with keywords. If you have no idea, you're just starting with an idea or just some words in the first place, you can put those into this tool called BuzzSumo. And what that will do is give you a list of social engagement, popular articles on the internet around that. So if it's keywords, it will give you, so if you type in, just have a look down at the example that I've got there. For that, please. The, I think it's content marketing, I think is what, oh, no, sorry, it's big data. Big data is the search term they've used there, and the first share comes up with 6,500 total shares across all of the social networks. One of the cool things about this is it will give you the ability to click on the backlinks and show where that is being shared from. It gives you the article itself, so you've got ideas on what content works from a title, what's popular around that keyword, where it's being shared. So if you were thinking about going into social media and weren't sure where to start, I can tell you that putting big data on Pinterest is probably not going to get you anywhere near as many as going into LinkedIn or Twitter. And funnily enough, Facebook is not as big on that one there. Another extremely cool, I guess, function of BuzzSumo, which you can get on the free one as well. This is all free. This is a free tool. They do have a pro version. They will try and push you to that after you click a few buttons on the site. So try and head there with knowing what you need to do. Otherwise, you'll be kicked out for a day or asked to go pro. But on the free account, you can still use a lot of the tools. And one of them is it will give you a username export of all of those shares. So one of my favorite marketing gurus, for want of a better term, is Bryan Harris, and he calls this the vacuum formula. So he says that you will see that 6,500 people have shared that Harvard Business Review big data article. If you go into that link within BuzzSumo, you can click export, and it'll give you all the usernames for all of those social networks. And you can then take that, go and contact those people with your article if it's around that, and say, hey, I saw that you like this article. I've written another one. And that's called the vacuum formula. It's like vacuuming up customers to your content. So what is your strategy? So the number one question to ask yourself is, who are you marketing to? Who's your target customer? So we'll cover that, and what my favorite question around this is actually who is your best customer? So what do I mean by those two? So your target customer is you've probably heard that many times. Who's your target market? So identifying whether you I'm trying to help small businesses create their ideas, or I'm helping small business owners, specifically in Perth, validate their idea. Sounds slightly better. Or my target is 35 to 40-year-old females in a certain suburb and that like coffee. That is more of a target. Your best customer, as I mentioned before, knowing what you're getting yourself into, because everything turns into a job. If you can highlight who you would actually like to work with, it's an even more powerful question. So finding your best customer, so who they work with. What I found is within one of our e-commerce stores, I enjoy working with people that are in the health industry, people that are into CrossFit and things like that, as opposed to a similar cross-section of the market who are into sort of woo-woo stuff. They're a bit harder customer to actually work with. So I find that the best customers are the ones that really want to just get down to business, buy the products, get off and get on with it. The ones that need a lot of hand-holding, they're buying the same product, same price. they need a lot more effort. And I enjoy working with the CrossFitters as opposed to the others. So that's what I mean by who is your best customer. So now we get into the where, what, and how of marketing. So the where. Again, we covered this off in, we started covering this off in the validation session, but what are the fish? So going where the fish are is obviously the strongest place you can start. So finding out where your target market hang out, whether they're hanging out at forums, whether you're hanging out on blogs, existing blogs already, whether they're on Facebook, on social media. So finding out where they hang out. An excellent book that I've recently finished reading, which I've mentioned to you guys before, is Will It Fly by Pat Flynn. He talks about validation, hence one of our previous sessions talking about this. He shows how you can use Google and a few other tools to actually find people talking about your topic, idea, product, service, whatever it is, whether it be forums, whether it be blogs. He breaks that all down, how to do that. So for example, you can go, if you, I think we broke this down in another session as well, on the Amazon Echo, which is a new product that Amazon's brought out. It's like an electronic device that's in the background of your house. You say words to it and it goes off and finds you products and helps you do stuff. Pretty cool, very, very nerdy. If you type Amazon Echo blog into Google, it will show you all the blogs that are currently looking after that keyword market, if you want to call it that. And turns out there is only one. But that's a good way of actually finding out where the fish are, where they're hanging out already. The other one is to sort of leverage where people might already have those people. So that would be called influencers. So influencers are people who already have your target market, and you just need to get in front of them. So when talking about influencers, my favorite example of just an absolutely amazing influencer who has kind of risen to the top of that kind of game by basically doing the same strategy, is finding influencers to help him go from very little to very, very high in the market very, very fast. So Nathan Chan of Founder Magazine, he's actually an Aussie. So my first example here is Richard Branson. So he managed to get, after much hustle, Richard Branson into one of his first magazines. He then used Richard Branson's name, the leverage, and the fact that he's an influencer and has a massive market to get other people like Tony Robbins and Seth Godin and the who's who. He's pretty much got interviews with them. So really fantastic way of he's gone and used influencers to get influencers. Sorry, if you're unable to hear, I've definitely got sound here. I can see it coming through on the other channel. So you might need to click click the settings and change your speakers there. All right, so Nathan Chen has also used the power of influence to absolutely explode his Instagram account. So you can see on the right-hand side there, he has 710,000 followers. Now, this was probably about a week ago, and that has just gone completely bananas. I think it was only like 100,000 a month or two ago. So he has broken down how all this works and how he's used the influencer strategy on his website, so foundermag.com. He's got a free download there on how he blew up his Instagram account, but it basically breaks down exactly how influencers. So what I mean by influencers and how you can use this for marketing is exactly what he did in the first example, which was to go and find people who have the market and sort of JV with them, ask them for a shout out, go and do something for them, and hopefully get your product in front of their audience. There's plenty of ways to do that. And a great example I saw the other day was for a coffee place. It was a simple Instagram account that we're using, going around to other coffee places, and basically they were selling coffee and basically commenting on other coffee places to get people engaged in their coffee. Oh, I love your coffee, or I've seen your coffee before, and things like that. So that's a simple strategy for using the influencer thing. That really doesn't require a hell of a lot of stuff, and you can step right up to trying to get people on the telephone to get them to come and interview in your magazine, like he's done with Richard Branson, things like that. Now, so the what. So what we've identified the who, we've identified the where, and now the what. So what are your target market's pains, problems, issues? What are they talking about? What are they struggling with? What do they need? And the reason we ask that, we'll get into in a moment, but you can ask them, you can listen to them. As I said before, if you find out where they are, if they're on forums, you can go and read those comments. You can throw in your own questions and answers, and sort of get in front of them there. But you really need to find out what they're struggling with right now. So once you ask and you do listening, you get onto the how. So how do they describe the problem that they're having? What words are they and language are they using? And what you'll do with this is you'll need to use those in your solutions that you're going to offer them. All right, we'll get into social media marketing now. So the third section, this is on the tools. So question I always get asked is, do I need to be on, and insert Snapchat, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Periscope, and go. So every road looks good if you don't know where you're going. Hence having a strategy. So we can look at what's hot right now, but it depends on where your market is. As I said, you can use BuzzSumo before to find out where your target market's hanging out, whether they're finding their articles on Facebook, whether they're finding their articles on Pinterest. So it depends on your target market, depends on their pains, and depends on, I guess, what their demographics and things like that are, as to where they are. As far as that's as far as finding out which ones they're already hanging out on. But you can also find out potentially what is trending and what social media they'll actually head towards. So let's have a look at what's hot right now. So Gary Vaynerchuk, Dan Norris, there's several really high-end guys that are really into Snapchat at the moment. I hadn't heard of it before until about 4 months ago. So a few people have said, what on earth is Snapchat? Isn't that for 13-year-olds? It was. So it did skew younger, but that's changing. In 2013, Mark Zuckerberg, the guy from Facebook, offered them $3 billion and they declined. It's already the biggest trending app in 2016. Most of the guys that I follow that are into marketing and into the now what's hot, what they're following along with, everyone's doing Snapchat. The reason is it makes it extremely easy to build a know, like, and trust with your customers. It does involve you getting, well, not necessarily 100%, but it definitely would work, is getting in front of the camera, whether it's video, whether it's snaps of yourself and changing them over and things like that. But it's certainly on the top of mind of all marketing at the moment is Snapchat. So originally there was not a lot of marketing going on in there, but that's changing now as well. Things like filters and a few other bits and pieces that are nailing it. People are talking about it really upping their business, which I haven't actually started doing yet, so it's pretty crazy. But I'm definitely looking into that. Another one is Facebook Live. So if you haven't seen Facebook Live, it's the I guess live streaming video directly on Facebook. When it first came out, it only started with influencers, so only high-end celebrity types were given access to it. But if you haven't seen Periscope either, Periscope is another one of these live streaming apps. There was Meerkat as well. So a few of these trying to get into video. So Periscope and Meerkat, a few other, they kind of have some what I thought originally were some cool benefits, like the content kind of went away, so it gave you the ability of having sort of fresh content all the time, which is definitely good for marketing. But it didn't have the ability to scroll on the comments. So when people were commenting live, you'd miss comments and you were sort of missing the engagement from people. The difference with Facebook Live is, one, it's a much larger audience. or audience pool, because a lot of people are already spending a lot of time on Facebook. The Facebook algorithm is going to show your content to a lot more people if there is video involved, and that's proven by looking at some of the Facebook ad spends and ad ROIs. They will show Facebook Live a lot more than any other. So if you try and put your Periscope details onto Facebook, and someone else has something similar with Facebook Live, sorry, but the Facebook algorithm's not going to like your Periscope. They're going to go for their own native content instead. Facebook is somewhere where people are already spending a lot of the time, as I said, and the content remains there, unlike Snapchat being sort of disappearing, and Periscope is only around for 24 hours as well. It also has the comments and engagement that you can go back and forth. People can engage with each other a lot easier. You do get a lot of people missing each other on Periscope as well. I did enjoy Periscope. I haven't done it for a couple of weeks, but I did enjoy that. But I'm looking into Facebook Live as well. And my fave of the last couple of months has been Instagram. So Instagram has been excellent for our e-commerce store. We've got a physical products business. It's been fantastic. So it's in the coffee space. It could just be because of who I look at, but a lot of Instagram for me is covered in coffee anyway. It's one of those things that does get snapped a lot. But the marketers are coming to Instagram. So it definitely owned the attention in 2015 with things like share for shares and influencer marketing, as Nathan Chan mentioned before, Founder Magazine. It has started to attract marketers, and it was getting a lot. I guess it was too easy to game the system there for a little while. So being owned by Facebook, they've decided to turn on an algorithm and stop showing every single thing that comes through your feed, which will hurt people, I guess, gaming the system, but shouldn't hurt the system overall. We haven't seen any changes yet to our numbers. Because Instagram is tied into Facebook, as I said, it's also tied into the Facebook ads, and we absolutely kill it on our Instagram ads. They're amazing. I've set up a funnel to go directly from the ad through to my system. I'm able to track every single click that comes through there, and right through to tracking the conversion and amounts and things like that. And the ROI on Instagram ads is amazing. It's better than Facebook ads, and Facebook ads are amazing compared to Google ads. So we're stepping right up onto the value chain there. So really, really enjoying Instagram. It's still good. The recent changes haven't really affected us at all, but definitely worth a look. Okay, I always say start today. So up next, we'll talk about next week. We'll talk about growing your email list. I'm going to cover two of my absolute favorite in the online space. Bryan Harris, I mentioned earlier, from Videofruit, who is just a monster at email marketing. That's his what's working right now PDF that he's recently come out with. He's also doing a workshop with Flynn, another guy I mentioned from Smart Passive Income. I'll do a full recap next Tuesday on that workshop, and also cover off some of the best tips for building your email list. All right, quick session wrap up from this session. I've already hit the 30-minute mark. I'll try and keep this to 30 minutes to keep you guys interested. So from last week's session, we talked about building your website. This week, we talked about marketing. So who is your market? Where are they? What are their pains, and how to speak to them? All right, guys. So entrepreneurs are notorious for idea churn, starting something new only to abandon it for another idea. One of my favorite comments from the Will It Fly book, Pat Flynn. So really enjoyed that book, really enjoying, let me just flick back to myself. So I hope you enjoyed that session. We covered off marketing. We covered off a few things from last week's session as well. We talked about what we're going to talk about next week, which I'm very, very excited about as well. I just wanted to show you the books that I've been reading this week. I mentioned Will It Fly from Pat Flynn. Really fantastic book on validation. If you are in the early stages or getting ready to launch your idea, even if you don't have an idea, he runs through some fantastic stuff on finding your idea and validating your idea. And I just got this in the mail as well. I've got the glare on there. Yeah. So Gary Vaynerchuk, I mentioned him a few times. Absolute genius marketer. Really sensational on social media. You should follow him if you're thinking about getting into or want to grow a social media presence for your brand, for your product, for your service, things like that. Sorry about that. I recommend that you check him out. If you wanted to get into Snapchat, go follow him, watch what he does. It works. If you want to get into Instagram, go follow him, watch what he does. It works. He's absolutely exploded all of his accounts. He's dominating all of them. He knows exactly what works for and what doesn't work for all of those. He's really, really excellent. All right, so I just wanted to tell you about those. Just get back into here. So I'm definitely guilty of idea churn. I have been working on several things for the last couple of years, but my word of the year for 2016 is focus. So I am focusing on my Amazon business, Amazon FBA, and my coaching. So I've been coaching people for the last couple of years. And obviously I've been helping people in this meetup, which has been great fun. What I've been asked for is more one-on-one stuff. So I have opened up a few slots. I'm giving away free 15-minute Skype calls. I can talk to you about any of this sort of stuff. So marketing, fixing up your website, launching your ideas. I can go through some validation strategies with you. I can talk about content ideas, content marketing. I can talk about social media with you. So if you go to rapidexecutive.com/coaching, there's a little box there. You can find my calendar. Grab a session that's available. It's synced with my calendar, so feel free to grab a session that is there. Let me know your Skype details or your Hangout details. In there is a question in there, and then yeah, we'll have a chat. Cool. So this session, as with all of the sessions, obviously you can grab this presentation. If you're watching this on the replay, it will be available here. If you're watching it now, it's available on the same page. So rapidexecutive.com/workshop to grab all the notes. Everything I talked about in the session is there. Okay, so I've got about 20 minutes, maybe 15 minutes that I can hang around with you guys. I can just come back to the chat over here. If you have any questions, chuck them in the chat box. There's a chat on, should be, if I get my mirror right, should be a chat box there. If you don't have it and you're on the YouTube or the Google, if you've got the Google box up the top and nothing else on your screen, if you go to, I think it's top, maybe it's there, top right. There's a little chat icon and it'll open up the box if it hasn't already. If you're on your mobile, go to rapidexecutive.com/workshop, watch it on there, and you can put your comments in there. Now, in the next session, I will be talking about my absolute favorite topic at the moment, which is funnels, marketing funnels. So what I mean by marketing funnels is actually kind of want to show you one while we're here. I might do that. You would have seen a marketing funnel before. I'm gonna do it. I'll show you this one. There is one of the funniest things I've seen recently, and yes, I'm geeking out about marketing funnels, is Wolf Gun Oil. I'm hoping I can find, yes. All right, sorry about that. I do want to show you this. This is absolutely fantastic. I'm going to screen share this with you. Now, this is a landing page, or more specifically, a squeeze page. You don't necessarily need to be familiar with what gun oil is. It's pretty self-explanatory. This is a very, very targeted product and niche. Certainly not one that I'm interested in whatsoever, but from a marketer's perspective, it's one of my favorite things at the moment. So this is a pop-up that just came up. This is gun oil. 1 ounce is quite small, so this is about the size of your thumb. This thing, it's used for cleaning guns in the US. Obviously, I don't need to tell you about the target market here, but I do want to tell you about what this is all about from a marketing perspective. So, claim your free 1 ounce of premium wolf gun oil. Yes, rush me my premium gun oil. Now, what this is here is scarcity. So it's saying you don't have long to make up your mind to get it free. Otherwise it goes away. A little bit of content marketing that goes on there, a little bit of copywriting, I guess. And it's pretty much just a long form sales page and the ability to chat down the bottom, which I'll come back to in a minute. So this is what a funnel is. So this is free plus shipping. This is what this funnel is called. So it's playing with psychology around free stuff. It's getting you to click based on the fact that it's free. Oh, it's free. Yep. Please ship me my free gun oil. Now, 1 ounce is $5.95. Hang on, you said it was free. Oh, it's just shipping. So it's free plus shipping, I guess. Okay, that makes sense. Now it makes sense to me. Cool. But it has multiple options here. So what these are called is a order form bump. So I've come in at, you had me at free. I'm happy to pay $5.95 to get this shipped because it's a lot more value than that. Or I could get 2 for this. I've got some friends. I might buy a few of these. This is probably not a deal that I can get for very long, so I might buy a whole bunch. So from a marketing perspective, that's a big tick. You put in your shipping address or your billing address, and I can't do this right now to show you the other end of the funnel, but I will tell you about what happens next. You put in your credit card details, click yes, send me my wolf gun oil. And in the words of the guy who put this together, who has nothing to do with the product whatsoever, he's just the marketer, he said, what could possibly be on the next page? And what actually comes up is another little box similar to this one here. It says, thank you for your purchase of the gun oil. Would you like to buy some more gun oil? And he said that he gets an 80% conversion rate on the next page, which actually says for another $1, you can get another bottle. If you sign up for a guide that will show you how to use your gun oil, which is $37 or something like that. So he makes another $38 on the next page, 75 or 85% conversion rate, which I think is fantastic. So this is what a funnel is. You're funneling people through a purchase from, I guess, cold traffic or maybe even warm traffic if this is specific to a certain target niche, warming them up to actually buy, getting them to buy, identifying ravenous buyers and getting them, basically selling them more things. All right, I didn't really want to get into funnels tonight. That's our little session there. I will come back to myself. Like I said, I could talk about this all night. I really, really do enjoy that side of things. All right, so a couple of questions I'll get through there. Hi, Sahal. How you going? Can I follow your Instagram? Absolutely. So I've got 2. If you just want to have a look at my coffee business stuff, it's Butter Coffee Oz, ButterCoffeeOz. That's our coffee business that we run, one of our e-commerce stores. Been doing that for about 2 years. The Instagram account has been open for a few months. Or it's probably been open for almost a year, but I have been going really hard in the last couple of months because I've seen the ROI on that and loving it, absolutely loving it. I've got a few tools that I use for that. Jet.com, I'll check that out. Yes, is there a way to watch my previous webinars? Yes, they are on YouTube. I am getting to the putting it together in somewhere where you can get it in one spot. So I do apologize, but if you follow Rapid Executive on Google Plus, okay, I think I'm back. Apologies. That happened last week as well. I do apologize for that. I think I'm still here. I'll try and come straight back to where I was. This, for some reason, Google kicked me out like last week. I apologize for that. So yes, I'm putting together the ability to pull all of those into one place where you can get them all. Google doesn't, I mean, no Google Plus. I use it only because this Google stuff is excellent, but Google Plus is not. So you can grab them all on YouTube, but if you want to see them in a proper format, I'm putting them together. So I just hadn't put them up on the site yet. I did have them. This is available for a few days, and then I need to kick in the whole next week one as well. Otherwise, people will get confused. So just let me turn that off. Sorry. There we go. So yes, I am pulling those together. I will let you know. If you are on the webinar, if you signed up for the webinar reminders on the email, if you got a reminder from me today about that or an hour ago about that, then you are on that list. Then I will let you know via that list when I've put them together in an easily digestible format. So yes, I do want to collect them all together. They do run sequentially. There are some bonus ones that I do along the way, but they're usually related to the topic that we talk about. So we start with ideation. We moved into naming your idea, building your first site. Now we're talking about marketing. We get into email, and then we're heading towards metrics, and then launch. Launch is day 7, the last day, day 1 of your new business, and we get into that as well. So that will be in a couple of weeks. All right. So Sahel mentions jet.com as the best funnel website model. I want to check that out, jet.com. Guys, if you are still hanging around, I can see a few of you still here. If you do want to chat, there is the chat in Google. As I said, either there or there. I need to work out which one that works. I'll go watch this on the replay. You can chat in there, or so you're outside the US. Jet Savings Club based in the US. Yeah, jet.com is like Amazon, right? Or the new Amazon. I've heard all about it. Free shipping. Okay. So tell me about how it works for Jet is an e-commerce site. Here's their funnel YouTube video. It's 5 minutes. The site is a lot of bigger like Amazon. Cool. All right. Definitely watch that. That's awesome. Thank you. If you guys want to watch as well, that's in the, I won't put that in this session because we need to jump off here shortly, but in the comments, if you're watching this in the replay, the comments actually switch off just to stop spammers. So the comments will switch off at the end of tonight, but I will put it in the notes for the session and I'll send it out as well. If you want to see the jet.com funnel. Cool. And what I might do is actually put it in next week's sessions as well when I talk about, which won't be next week. I might do it next week as well. I really love to talk about this stuff. So funnels, content marketing, it's excellent. Check it out later. I will. Cool. Hey. I see. Right. Awesome. Okay, guys, I'm hoping that was helpful for you from a marketing perspective. I know marketing is a huge topic. It doesn't help if you're just starting and you have no idea where to start. I did try and break down a few of the key components to getting started with marketing. I'll move into some of the more advanced topics like copywriting, power words, NLP, things like that. Cover off some of the funnels, funnel hacking, automation strategies, things like that as well in a later session. I did cover a couple of them in the previous session as well, as far as building out your landing pages and sales pages, and then what happens next. That's some of the automation around the funnel as well. Cool. All right. Okay, any last questions? As I said, guys, if you chat to me about this sort of stuff one-on-one, if you aren't comfortable chatting, I guess, out loud or in public, I know a few people get a bit iffy about their ideas and things like that, which is fine. As we always say in our meetup group, talk about your idea because 10 people are already working on it. But if you, as I said, if you do not feel comfortable in a public forum and you do want to chat with me one-on-one, rapidexecutive.com/coaching, grab a free session. I'm happy to chat to any and all of you for 15 minutes. Grab me on the calendar there. It syncs with my calendar, lets me know. It syncs with your calendar, lets you know. And then we'll just connect up via Skype or Hangouts here. Yep. All right. Okay, guys. I got to jump off. I've got sick kids and a sleeping dog I need to sort out. But have a great night, and I will see you next week.